My name is Sevgil Musaeva. I'm editor-in-chief of Ukrainska Pravda. Ukrainska Pravda, one of the most leading and one of the most important media in our country. And I became editor-in-chief of Ukrainska Pravda in 2014 in a very dramatic period of history of Ukraine. Because it already occupation of Crimea has started, then war in Donbass, a lot of social things, and it was difficult time actually. It is still difficult time, but we just we now we can accept it. But in 2014 it was challenging not only for country but for journalists, because you have this thing with kind of you have this passion about what's going on in your country. At the same time, you have a passion in your profession. So uh, it was challenging. Let me show the presentation. Is it is it in you? Is it okay? Yeah, it will be about how to create a community of readers, and it's an example of Ukrainska Pravda. Um, some words, and actually I started already about Ukrainska Pravda. It's one of the oldest online publications in Ukraine. It was founded in 2000. It was founded by two Ukrainian journalists, Georgy Gangadze and Olena Pritula. Lena Pritula is an owner of Ukrainska Pravda. Georgy Gangadze was kidnapped in 6 months after a creation of Ukrainska Pravda, and in a couple of weeks after that it happened. It's still very hard to talk about that. His body was found without head, dissipated in the forest near Kiev, and this became one of the most important and dramatic political scandals in the history of modern Ukraine. So what else I want to tell about Ukrainska Pravda? It's owned and managed by journalists from the beginning to 2000. I told you already that Olena Pritula is owner, and I'm editor-in-chief, and we also have a CEO, Andriy Klimenko, who also started his career in media as a journalist. So in 2000, we had like 15 to 12 to 20 readers per day. Now we have 10 million monthly users per month, 10 million users per month. And it's one of the biggest online media in our country. We have 1.6 million social media followers in different social media. So in Facebook, first of all, in Twitter, we have one of the most important Twitter in our country too. During, first of all, in the revolution and in different social events, more than 70 employees and 8 media projects in the Ukrainska Pravda ecosystem. For example, Ukrainska Pravda Life, which is more about life and social problems. In 2014, we created the European Pravda in 2 months after Maidan and occupation of Crimea, because European integration is one of the main issues for Ukraine, and this project is extremely successful, and we're proud of it. Historical Pravda, which focus more on history of Ukraine, modern history, and this year we created also Ukrainska Pravda Sauce project about coronavirus and the challenges, and also news from regions about coronavirus, which was also important. At the beginning, Ukrainska Pravda was more about telling truth, because it was a time of censorship, total censorship. During Kuchma period, Leonid Kuchma was the second president of Ukraine, and he was also creator of oligarch system, and this point is very important, because more than 85% of Ukrainian media market owned by oligarchs. and it's very difficult to to compete with them. The first mission was just to create. So when I asked Olena Pritula 2 or 3 years ago, why did you decide to create Ukrainska Pravda in 2000? She told me a very interesting story that it was not only even about online media. It was just a page in internet, because internet in 2000 in Ukraine was a blue ocean. But in 2019, we created a new mission of Ukrainska Pravda to tell facts, to set standards, and to seek the truth. Uh, uh, what about pre-membership revenue model? More than 55% banner ads than Google Ads and PR, native projects and special projects, ads networks, and donor support, like for 12%. Actually, I also want to tell you that at the beginning, Ukrainska Pravda was a project supported by donors till 2005, actually. What we want to do. We first of all, we understand that it's important to focus on reader revenue, provide added values for the readers, for our readers, and develop innovative editorial formats. Challenges for Ukrainska Pravda, I think that they are same with all media in the modern world. Social media forcing media outlets to become closer to audience, to build this horizontal relationship with readers, and decline in advertising revenues drives search for new monetization models. So how we can involve people? The first one, and all of you know that it paid access to content, crowdfunding and donations, and reader communities. And of course, we had these discussion in Ukrainska Pravda, which model we will involve in our media, and we decided we chooses the path of a reader community. And I would like to explain why. First of all, we consider that free access to content it's a basic human right, and I told you a little bit about history of Ukrainska Pravda, which was founded as a kind of an answer for censorship in 2000, and for us it's kind of basic right and basic value, access to information. Then we have a mission, uniting people with active civil position. Ukrainska Pravda was very important media during Orange Revolution and during Euromaidan. And the people understand that, Ukrainska Pravda is a media for their support, it's about truth. It's not about control of media by different oligarchs, and that is why uniting people with active civil position, it's our main goal, one of the main goals. And we believe in power of feedback from readers, and our experience from March 2020 and from June 2020 show that it is true. So what does our solution look like? We created 3 levels of Ukrainska Pravda Club, Ukrainska Pravda community. The first one is UP Club, which is like $2 per month and $18 yearly. Toloka UP and Editors Club. I will explain different levels of this reader community. First of all, from different benefits, because in different levels of these readers' revenue, we have different benefits. The first one is access to UPA private event, communicate with the editorial team, vote for articles and topics, offer you ideas for stories, and also weekly email newsletters. The second one, Toloko OP, I think that it's one of the most interesting for you, first of all, because it's innovative, it's something new, and we don't have in our media market nothing kind of nothing same. So it's mainly the same with the PECLA, but at the same time we have discounts and special bonuses from UPA partner and companies. And later I will explain how we work with them. But now we have more than 50 partner and companies for our readers, and all of them have different discounts, bonuses for members of Ukrainska Pravda Toloka. And Editors Club, it's very new project, and it more kind of creating a community with a private chat for discussion, with regular offline events, with discussions on important social and political issues and guest speakers. And it's more for business and also civil organizations in our country, also to create new discussions of what is necessary for our country, for new challenges, about new challenges, not only in Ukraine, but in the world. For example, in a couple of weeks, we will organize discussion about climate change. Climate change not only in Ukraine as an issue, but from different companies. We will have a guest from different countries, experts in this topic, because in our country we don't have this topic even in the media sphere. And for me, as a person, as an editor, as a journalist, is very important to show that it's necessary topic for our readers. So, and I will tell about how we implemented. It was research and analysis, market analysis, audience service. Then we did value proposition based on Western industry experience, different names, pricing. Then the next one was a verification adaptation for year-end focus group. And after discussion to test our vision and prototype. So we created this focus group from our readers community. More than 20 people joined this focus group, and we had the group interview with them and collected different insights from this event. And it was also important to hear our readers. And then development and testing was also a part of this story. Payment system connection, testing and design. And I think as for me, it was one of the most challenging process during this creating and development of Ukrainska Pravda club readers. And launch preparation, community manager hiring, we found this person, then marketing strategy and development, and we are still in this process because you should also understand what's going on media market, how people involved in this process. You should also create different marketing companies to keep attention from readers. And I think that now in this moment, it's one of the most important workflow, not only for us, for our community manager, for me as an editor-in-chief, because you should create every day in daily basis new conferences, new formats. For example, even when we talking about marketing strategy, we organized open planning meeting with our journalists and readers, and it was interesting for our readers and interesting for us, useful. We studied also our audience, and we asked them how long you have been reading Ukrainska Pravda. 28% answered that more than 10 years, and you can see this percent, so it's interesting. This question was: Are you ready to support Ukrainska Pravda financially? And only 6% asked that yes, I'm ready to support. It's in regular basic, which is the same with the results on different European and international medias. It was also our landing page. I told you a little bit about our focus group. It was our IT solution, and we tested it, and I think that it was very challenging for all team, for our technical team. When you created this community membership, you also should think about security for your website and security for your readers. So it took more than 3 months to develop all these things. I will tell you a little bit how it works. So we have this opportunity to save your favorite articles. Then we have take service. Then register for events. And we organized more than 20 events during 2020 for our guests. Mostly of them were online events, sure, because of COVID situation. But I hope on spring it would be possible to organize some meetings on air, and we have these plans to organize events on air. Subscribe to newsletters. We have now 2 newsletters for our readers. One is weekly, and one is more about our news from team. 2 times per month. Toloka of Ukrainska Pravda. Toloka means communal work in Ukrainian. We have this tradition for I think for 400 years maybe, and we decided to name this project as a Toloka. You can choose an offer and get a promo code and show the QR code at the point of sale. So we have now 50 partners, different partners from different spheres. For example, Uber. We have restaurants. We have book. We also asked our readers which discounts it will be interesting to have. And mostly, and in first place, they asked for sure books and some bookstores, I mean. That's why we have now 5 bookstores in our partners, and some restaurants, sure, and medical support. And for Editors Club, is made up of members invited either directly by the editor-in-chief, recommended by one of the existing members. And Editors Club is discussion club. We discussed different interesting topics. We invite interesting speakers. We organize debates on political topics. And we plan to organize the next meeting in 2 or 3 weeks. It's our third level. The fee is $1,250. The first one is you can cover the core fee, and then $250 to go into a pool for available members who cannot cover. So, for example, we asked to join this club a philosopher from Vinnytsia, and for him it's expensive. That's why members who can pay, they paid for him. And in 2021, we will be happy to fundraise some money for social projects. More because members of our club have businesses, have social responsibility, and for them, it's interesting and a very necessary tool for their businesses to know, because businesses in Ukraine, I just came from Aspen seminar, and it was more about businesses. More than 90% of members asked about how we can deal with all problems in our country, and we'll be very happy to join for different social projects to support different social issues. Please just tell us how we can join. So that's why it's one of our plan for 2021 to fundraise for social projects in different spheres. Our results, now we have more than 10% of the organization budget, but we hope that in 5 years we'll have 30%. This is very optimistic, but I think it's interesting goal, and we created community member. We started creating of community members. This story has started last February or March, just 2 or 3 weeks before lockdown. That's why it was difficult even to gather all members of our groups to create this project from the beginning. And we also asked our readers, is it possible for you to support us during these challenging times? They said yes. That's why I'm very optimistic that it's possible to have these 30% in 2023 or 24. Because we ask our readers, first of all, join us and to build quality journalism together. I'll be very happy to answer your questions if you will have some. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sevgil. That's a really interesting solution. I think we're going to leave the questions for the for our open discussion, unless anyone wants to jump in with one very quick one. Just sort of one thing from my end. So very quickly. So I think, you know, what's really interesting here is that you have the basic, you know, membership model that is kind of, you know, quite common amongst lots of different organizations, but you found that you also have a version where people get access to, discounts and special deals from 50 different companies at this point, and as well as a club that is quite pricey, for $1,250 in Ukraine. That's quite a substantial amount of money. So what is it that is driving the people who are going for the different clubs? Is it all the same? I want to support Ukrainska Pravda, or it's a little bit of a different dynamics?
Not the same. The first one, UP Club, it's for people who want just support, but they have 50 hryvnias per month. So it's UP Toloka, more.
That's $2 for those who,
$2. Sorry. The second one, UP Toloka, it's more for rational people who wants to have some discounts from different partners, and it works. It works. Even it works. We last year on December we had a special offer for all people who will join this UP Toloka for 1 year. We gave a T-shirt with Don Quixote. Don Quixote, it's our symbol of Ukrainska Pravda. And more than 500 people signed UP Toloka during this month, just because of this T-shirt as a special offer, as a gift. So it works, and it works with discounts. For example, we have a shoes company among our partners, and on December, during this holiday times, Christmas time, more than 200 people used this discount from our shoe partner. It's Intertop. It's big connect.
It's one of the big retailers, right?
Retailer, yes.
Yeah.
A lot of word set. Sorry.
Yeah. So sort of very interesting approach, right? You have the people who just want to support you. You have the people who are ready to support you, but they do want something in return. Like they want to know that they have some kind of tangible benefit. And then you have the club, which is sort of this more intimate, more prestigious kind of level of readers.
It's for top readers. It's for responsible businesses, and they want to support independent journalism in our country. They want to have this discussion platform. They want to gather together and discuss some important topics. So we can also be a platform, and during these 20 years we are still a platform for discussions for different political problems and discussions about different law projects. So we also can be a discussions for questions important for our businesses, for our community, for our readers. So it's just a tool to spread these ideas.
Yeah. But what's really nice and quite unique is that even though you initially, as I remember, set the price of participating in the UP Club at $1,000, then you increased it to $1,250 so that you could cover some of the members who you wanted, felt like they would provide value, but would not necessarily be able to provide contribution worth several months' salary, right? In some cases.